it's very interesting some of the questions you're asking. Ghetto radio. I think the whole issue of people who are non-teachers has always been there. So what has been happening is that schools have not been following that, including even in sports. Because when you get somebody from outside, then it means you are saying that we don't have creativity within the teaching profession. We have a lot of teachers. About 810,000 teachers that have been trained so far in this country, with about 100,000 in private schools and about 405,000 in our public institutions. You can't tell me that you cannot get about 405,000 teachers who can do proper plays. I think that's not true. And especially when you now invite politicians, like the former UDA Secretary General, to be your playwrights. I mean, that is something that is not right, and especially looking at the circumstances. We've seen the altercation between the deputy and the principal and the teacher, the so-called teacher. We don't want those kind of things. The whole issue is that those who are responsible must be held culpable, because you cannot use that just to settle political scores. I think that answers your question, Winfrey. I know you as Mswahili, or Winfrey. You quite a few of them like Swahili, by the way. But the whole issue of Taifa Care, yes, I agree with you. There has been an issue of funding. To deny the obvious is not true. Why? Because we inherited not less than 33 billion shillings from NHIF, and some of them have been fraudulently acquired, those bills. And that is why we are still interrogating that matter to ensure that we deal with that aspect. Having said that, we have now since got a new funding from the second supplementary, 3 billion each for the primary care fund, which is for level 1 to 3, and also for the emergency and critical care and chronic illnesses, another 3 billion, SHA. Chief, of course, from level 4 to level 6, is really for those who are able to pay this subsidized Medicare. And I have personally benefited. And that is why we are saying, yes, it's a funding issue. Every 14th of the month we'll be clearing the arrears, but we are also encouraging the people who are paying to actually pay the 300, so that people are able to ensure that we get the value for money. And that's why we are saying, first we are going to look at the means testing instrument to ensure that it is more attuned to the income variabilities within the society, but also that people can pay every day using M-Pesa. It's still in the works, and you'll agree with me that will help, because the more people pay, the more people benefit, because we don't get all of us sick at the same time. When you say it's on paper, I tend to disagree with you, Winnie, because if you have 8.5 million Kenyans going to visit various hospitals, they have been taken care of in one way or another. So if that was not the case, then it would not be as popular. And remember, this is actually the equivalent of all what was happening under NHIF. It's expanded, and I'm very happy that we are dealing also with various county governments who are also supplementing this kind of initiatives. Like the Mwaura County, Kangata Care is doing very well, and other places you can mention. So that then it's both for the national and county, even in terms of ensuring that you don't even end up at the hospital. You first prevent, because there are 5 pillars. You make sure you prevent, promote, palliative and also curative. So you look at all of that, and so CHPs, moving from one house to another to ensure that then you don't end up, in a hospital bed. So that is very important. So it is working. It is working to have teething problems. It has funding gaps, and we promise as a government to continue to increase the 3 billion per each of these funds going forward, but also urging Kenyans to pay through the system so that we can benefit, because it works like any other insurance. Yes, it's difficult because we've had many people resisting, because to a large extent our healthcare has been privatized, but I believe that going forward, because most of these monies will also go to public hospitals, we are going to see a shift that will benefit the fellow Kenyans. Of course, there is resistance, a lot even from professionals, but we are not going to budge as a government going forward. My friend from Westlight, I think you said so. Kuanza kwa Kiswahili sio kuleta kizungumkuti. Ni vizuri kuenzi lugha yako, ndugu yangu. Kwa sababu tunataka kuhakikisha kwamba Wakenya wengi wanaelewa lugha hii na inafikia kwa njia ya ufasaha zaidi kuliko hata Kiingereza. Kwa hivyo kusema kwamba kutumia Kiswahili kwa wakanganya wa Kenya, nafikiri hapo umekosea kidogo, hapo umeelewa kidogo. Now the issue of kids and tear gas, yes, we will go. It's not just the police themselves. If at all there were orders that were given, we would want to understand why anyone would give orders, to kids, really. But you see now, you can also imagine, we are in a drama festival. So some people are also dramatizing this, so that they can milk maximum political, capital out of it. Because why would you have children shouting, "Ruto must go"? I mean, who was inciting them? What was it all about? Then it becomes a political contestation, and especially when you have a former Secretary General of UDA being the playwright. I mean, let's not try to hide under children. This is politics. Politics 101. There's no question about it. And so therefore, we are not going to allow our institutions to be misused for political gains. I think, yes, Alvin from TV47, I agree with you on the issue of law enforcement. I think that force was not necessary, and that is why we actually regret what happened. And of course, action will be taken, going forward. Good. Any other question?
I think there was one there.
Hamjabote. Juzi nilikuwa nafanya certain documentary.
Unaitwa nani wewe?
Machari ndio taifa ndio. Juzi nimekuwa nafanya documentary huko sehemu za Taita Taveta. One of the kids akaniuliza swali ambayo nilishindwa kujibu sababu alikuwa anauliza mambo ya SHA. Aliniambia kwamba katika eneo hiyo kwamba kuna watoto wengi ambao wako na wamezaa watoto, yani teenage pregnancy. Huyo mtoto akaniuliza, je, kwa mimi nitahakikisha mtoto kwa SHA aje? Au umenielewa swali yangu?
Sitakupata vizuri.
Nimeuliza kwamba mtoto hana ID na amepata mtoto. So nikashindwa kumjibu swali. Sababu kwa hivyo not of the government side, so I don't know how it is.
What's
got a question? You have a question?
Habari daktari.
Habari sana Mgoro. Swali yako ni gani?
Ningependa kuuliza kana kwamba awoni kuna tetesi katika uhuru wa wana consultancy. Kuna watu wamefanya journalism, wengine wamefanya teaching na wengine theater arts. Je, uone kwamba hao ni Wakenya kama sisi, pia wanafaa kupata mapato yao kwa njia nyingine kama hiyo ya kuwa consultants kwa mashule?
Please. Go into your itafikaje hapo? Then we pass it on to.
Hujambo, msemaji wa serikali. Jina langu ni Alan Andiva, nahudumia runinga ya Kapchi, ukipenda runinga Katoliki. Nina maswali mawili tu. Swali la kwanza, wakati mfumo mpya wa SHF umekuja kutoka NHF, taasisi za kidini ikiwemo kanisa Katoliki imekuwa inalia kwamba wanazidi kuzama kwa madeni, ya kwamba kwa mfano wanadai serikali shilingi bilioni 2.5 ya kwamba hawajalipwa, na si tu kanisa Katoliki peke yake, mpaka kanisa dini zingine zote wanakaribia takriban bilioni 10. Swali langu ni je, serikali ina mpango upi kufadhili hizi dini? Maana tunafahamu ya kwamba hizi dini zinasaidia karibia 50%. Kwa mfano kanisa Katoliki, taasisi tu za hospitali ni nyingi mno, hivi kwamba zikisimama hata siku moja taifa linaweza likatetemeka. Swali la pili, SHA ilipeana ufadhili wa mbolea na ikasema vizuri kwamba mbolea hii itakuwa bure bilashi, yani bure kabisa. Kama mimi naelewa kwamba kitu bure unapewa bure. Hivi umesema kwamba walichanganya kisha wakapeana, lakini hakuna mkulima yote ambaye anasema kwamba alipewa bure. Tunafahamu kwamba wakulima ndio watu maskini hapa kwa taifa letu la Kenya. Hakuna hata ile mama mboga ambaye alipewa mfuko moja bure. Maana mimi nafahamu kwamba kitu cha bure ni cha bure. Alafu kitu cha pili, walichanganya na gani na walielezea nani? Maana ile taifa la Russia itauliza kwamba Bwana Putin atauliza kwamba hivi akija akauliza kwamba nilipeana badala za bure, nataka nipeane zingine bure. Bali nataka tu Mkenya mmoja aseme nilipewa moja bure. Je, nani huyu ambaye atasema alipewa bure? Shukrani za dhati. Jina langu ni Alan Andika.
Asante.
Swali langu la mwisho is still on the Butere gas bill.
What's your name?
My name is Wilfrey.
Ndio wino bado umerudi?
And nimerudi kwa mara ya mwisho sasa. From reports we are receiving from the National Drama Festival, zinaonyesha kwamba kulikuwa na michezo zingine which had similar themes. And in some cases even far much, they were more serious than what Butere Girls had.
Yes.
And they were staged with no interruptions. So my question is, what is the problem with Butere Girls? Is it the playwright being a politician, or is it the play that comes out as someone using a play, an art, to criticize the government? And another thing, how I've heard most of the government officials arguing that this is him trying to use children for political gain. So how will this play give him political mileage, as you have said?
Nitaanza na wewe mwenzangu mtu wa vyombo vya habari. And by the way, leo kuna jua kidogo. Leo kuna jua na nimevaa kofia, niko na miwani, niko na sunscreen. Na ikiweza sana nitaweza kuweka mwavuli kama itahitajika. Wacha niseme hivi. Sio vyombo vyote vya habari ambavyo vinapiga serikali. Lakini kuna vyombo vingine ambavyo vimepita mipaka. Hawezi kuwa kila wakati headline yako kila wakati ni kupiga serikali. Una agenda. Una agenda. Una agenda. Kila asubuhi kwani serikali hakuna kitu ambacho kinafanya kizuri. Kwa hivyo kuna vyombo vya habari hususan vile kutaja na wanajijua wenyewe ambao sasa wamekuwa ni sasa ni kama wao ni aina ya chama cha kisiasa. Pengine wana ufuasi fulani, lakini tunafikiri tunasema hapo sio haki. Minister Kubai, nafikiri utakubaliana na mimi kama ni vizuri kutumia Kiswahili kwa sababu wewe ni Mswahili mwema sana. Kila kitu kilichotendeka kwamba mchezo huu wa kuigiza ulikuwa uko sawa mpaka kiasi kingine, lakini baadaye ukaweza kubadilishwa, ambayo hilo jambo lilifai kufanyika. Kwa hivyo ulibadilishwa ukaweza kupita katika kiwango cha zono na kuendelea, lakini ukabadilishwa kwa sababu yule ambaye ni mwandishi alikuwa na nia yake ya kisiasa. Hapo ndio kuna tofauti kidogo. Na wakati walipoambiwa kwamba waweze kuigiza vile ambavyo walivyokuwa wamefanya pale awali, ndio wakakwenda kutini kusema kwamba haki zao zimefanya nini? Zimeweza kukiukwa. Kwa hivyo unaona hapo, hiyo ndio siasa. Siasa ni kule kubadilisha ule uigizaji na yale maneno hususan ambayo yalikuwa yanaonekana kwamba yanakemea serikali kwa njia ambayo haifai, kwa sababu mwanasiasa amefika pale. Nafikiri pia Winfrey umeweza kuuliza swala hilo na nafikiri nimeweza kukujibu kwamba kuna let me answer you in English because you asked in English. Yes, there are other plays that may even be more lethal in terms of the way they prosecute their themes and whatever. But I think the whole issue here is the fact that yes, there was a political motive behind this whole charade. Why are we not talking about those other plays? It's because someone somewhere wants to dramatize the politics behind his intentions. And I think he has succeeded, because we are discussing about him now. Sometimes in politics, because I'm one, sometimes that's all what matters. But having said so, we will not allow that to continue going forward. And that's why we are calling him out. We are calling him out in terms of ensuring that he does not abuse that system. We know what he's up to and what he has been doing. I mean, like, it's obvious that he wanted people to talk about him And that's what we are discussing here, many of the questions about it. The politicians are very good at that. So I think that's where the problem is. Now coming to the issue of, I think it is Alan Andiba. You see the whole issue, unataka kujibu kwa Kiswahili ama kwa Kiingereza?
Vile utapenda tu.
Vile ambavyo umejibu kwa Kiswahili. Ndivyo kweli mnadai zaidi ya shilingi bilioni 2.5 katika masuala haya yote ya NHIF. Na nakwambia kwamba tuna madeni zaidi ya bilioni 33. Wengine tumelipa kidogo, lakini tuliweza kutoa sera kwamba wale ambao wana madeni chini ya shilingi milioni 10 ambao ndio wengi tuweze kuwalipa waweze kuwa wako sawa, na hilo tunalitekeleza. Lakini kama wale ambao wako na pesa nyingi kama nyinyi, tunafanya ile mambo inaitwa audit, kuangalia kwamba yako sawa na tutaweza kuwalipa. Hilo nataka kuhakikishia. Kwa hivyo sio vizuri kuambia kwamba sasa mtaenda kusema kwamba hospitali zenu zifanye kazi. Ningependa muwe wazalendo, kwa sababu nyinyi ni Wakristo wenzangu, na dini inatuambia kwamba tumjali mwenzako, tumpende mwenzako kama vile ambavyo tunajipenda. Lakini serikali iko tayari kuweza kuhakikisha kwamba tunalipa hizi pesa. Ni nyingi sana. Ikumbuka kwamba tunalipa madeni ila hali watu wanatoa fedha ili wao wenyewe waweze kugharimiwa kimatibabu. Sasa tunalipa zile za kwanza ama hizi za hapa. Na sasa tunahakikisha kwamba wale ambao wanadai kila tarehe 14 tunaweza kulipa madai ya mwezi uliopita, ndio tuweze kuwa na madeni mengi kama vile ambavyo tumekuwa nayo ya NHIF. Lakini nataka kuhakikishia kwamba hili ni jambo sugu zaidi, kwa sababu linaathiri sana utendakazi, na tutaki pia kwamba hospitali yaweze kunaliwa kwa sababu ya madeni. Tunahakikisha kwamba tutafanya hilo. Lakini pia mtulie radhi, mwe wavumilivu, kwa sababu jambo hilo lote sio la kirahisi vile ilivyo. Pia nafikiri Mwaura, you asked a very good question about consultants and other people. It's important to understand this. You are allowed to have a playwright who is not a teacher. That's okay, because we could as well take it from a book, right? The problem is directing. Kule kuelekeza ule mchezo. So you cannot have the playwright who is also the director, and that's the case of the UDA, the former UDA Secretary General. He's a playwright, but also he also wants to be the director. That's why he was, and they had incited children, or these students, that he has to have access to them. So you can see that is a conflict. And that is also how the play itself was actually changed and altered to attain certain political outcomes. So that is where the difference is. So yes, you can write a play that you never know who will also go to act. But then when we want to direct, the teachers must be the ones who should do so. I think the issue of Basharia, David, that's, you raise a very legitimate concern kwamba kuna mtoto ambaye ni mtoto ambaye pia amepata mtoto. Hilo ni swali ambalo tunafaa kulishughulikia, kwa sababu ni kesi ambayo ni special kidogo. Kwa hivyo nafikiri nimeweza kunukuu, tutaweza kuwasiliana zaidi, kwa sababu hapo kuna changamoto, hususan wale watoto wetu ambao wanapata watoto wakiwa bado ni umri wa chini, teenagers, na hilo jambo limeweza kutendeka sana kule mashinani. Linafaa kuangaziwa zaidi. Sijui, nafikiri haya ndio maswali yote. Swali lote lingine la ziada? We are ready to answer questions. I think we have exhausted the issue of Malala. Let's get another one. Any other question?
Good morning. My name is Koeshken, and I have some few questions. One is concerning I don't come from any media house. So my name is Koeshken, and I'm not from any media house, but I have some 3 questions to ask. One is concerning the CHAN that's yet to open on August, and you have not spoke about it, on concerning the state of our stadiums from the Kasarani, Nyayo, and etc. Secondly is concerning high rate of unemployment among the young people. And now the government is responding concerning it, since the Labour Ministry has worked on the labour migration, and somehow it has suspended it since some many problems, I can say that. And also what our youth are facing in foreign land, like Thailand, what we saw was it last week, yeah, and the jobs that they were scam about it. Lastly, it's concerning the Butere issue also, because what I'm just inquiring is what was the government machinery doing about it from the sub-county level to the drama being performed in the national body.
Those are very nice questions, my good friend. Even though it's usually a media press conference, those are very good questions. Umefanya nikakuja mbali. Usiulize swali ya malala tafadhali. Huko ni mbali.
This is Arcadius from GMK News. I think it's not the first time to be in this press conference with Mr. Mwaura. Now, my question is, for how long will this government keep on complaining they inherited debt from the former government, yet you are collecting taxes more than the last government?
Hapa kuna swali lingine.
Urban Chevy from Horizon TV. Mine is across the borders, the role of Kenya in the Sudan issue, because people are dying and there's been some blame on the Kenyan government.
Thank you so much. Spokes, I think we can take those questions.
Thank you very much. This is the last set of questions. Thank you, Gabriel. Coach, I think it's you just witnessed last week the president visiting the Talanta Stadium, which has been able to employ over 3,000 young people, 300. So that is a very clear case of employment. And also we've had many other initiatives, like jobs abroad, as you have said it, the teachers that have been employed, over 76,000 teachers. We are soon going to employ police. So we are trying our level best. We have digital jobs also that have already been able to benefit over 190,000 youth. 693,000 youth have been benefited from the digital literacy program. We have the Jitume hubs. We just visited one in Kajiado at Masai National Polytechnic. So there are opportunities in the affordable housing, over 240,000 jobs that have been created because of the 130,000 houses that are being done here. We have the special economic zones. We went to Narok, to Naivasha, sorry, I beg your pardon, and we even found one that is operating there and others that are starting, a biscuit manufacturing company, and another one that is going to do electric vehicles. We're inviting many people to come so that jobs can be available to Kenyans. So the government is really doing very well in terms of ensuring that we get jobs for Kenyans. And now for those who are going abroad, it's not just equal to get a visa and travel. You have to get a letter showing clearly that you have employment. And we have been able to repatriate those that were in danger in Thailand. I personally got those calls, distress calls, and I was able to liaise with the PS Rosemary Njogu, and we are very happy that they are back home. So Kenyans, be careful, don't just say that you are going to work abroad. You have to be very, very, very clear that you have a letter of employment, an offer letter that is verifiable. And we are taking a minimum of 4 days to ensure that we verify whether that offer is actually valid and is genuine. But we want many Kenyans out there because we have been able to get over $4 billion, over 590 billion in the last 1 year. And that is helping so many families because remittances are directly to families, and that is what is sustaining many of our rural economies. And then